I left my family back in Windhelm to come here. I hope I don't live to regret it. The legend says that Meridia herself pushed this city into Cold Harbor and placed spells around it to keep it safe from the Lord of Brutality. But maybe he just doesn't want to.
If you're thinking of venturing outside the city, you'll need the toughest armor you can afford. Lucky for you, I have exactly what you need. Aren't we all? But I wanted to do my part. Help with the war effort. Get to see a Daedric realm. It's certainly very different from Eastmarch. If you're thinking of venturing...
This one and his beloved mate sought shelter, but there was none to be found. Urnabi, she didn't make it. Now I lack the will to go on. Our children will grow up without parents. They will be poor and destitute, and probably die young and alone. This one and his mate, we lost our way one night. We followed a light in the forest and wound up in this depressing place. We took shelter in a cave to the northeast, but that didn't work out so well. Especially not for poor Ernabi. We were attacked by Nilokilo and his monsters as soon as we set foot in the cave. This one and poor Ernabi fought our way out and eventually escaped into the wastes. This one's beloved Ernabi was wounded in the escape. She died before we could reach safety and find a healer. This one's claws will never be sharp again.
Handle this, sir. You can come out and see in a moment. So, someone has come to help us at last. We're out here in the middle of Cold Harbor, and that's the best question you can come up with? I am most definitely not talking to myself. I am speaking to the alchemist. Be quiet, you mangy cat. I can't hear myself think with all that racket. Patience, sir. I'll explain everything. I am with the Mage's Guild. We stepped through the portal and wound up in this vile laboratory. Daedra experimented on us. They merged our two souls. Now we're wasting away as this soul meld kills us.
To see out of Khajiit's eyes again. Zar hates being caged in that dark place. Yes, this one is pretty famous. Perhaps you have heard of Zar. But Zar must tell you, this soul meld is killing us. Will you help us? Will you unmeld our souls? Unmeld is so to a word. Pardon. The dwarven device that caused this is inside the laboratory. But Robo blocks the way. Collect Zar's notes and a bottle of pearl tincture. With those, this one can make a potion that will get you past the rubble. Questions are good. Ask and ask again. That is the systematic method of experimentation. Remember that you must know the rules before you can successfully break them. Their specialty is transmutation. Change one thing into another. So, not too difficult to change you from large to small. Then you can slip past the obstacles that block the entrance. Zer never said it would be easy, Dark Elf. Mind your tongue. Unfortunately, no. The soul meld weakens us, and we must conserve our strength. With the recipe and the ingredients, this one can make a transmutation potion and exert almost no energy whatsoever. A much better approach at this time, yes? Oh yes, we came to defeat the evil Moloch Baal. Or was it Menemarco? Zer forgets. So many bad things start with the letter M. But something went wrong and Godress, and this one ended up here. That's when the Daedra melted our souls. This one used an illusion spell. Very little effort. Sir has found you. This one is so happy now. Sir thought this was where he left the tincture, so I came to investigate. Don't tell Godress that Sir was here. A simple illusion spell protected me. But Godress gets worried. Me? I like to explore. This one has always enjoyed trying new and different things. But this situation, it is very strange, very awkward. Is that thought me, sir? Or me, Godress? This one can never be certain where his thoughts end, and Godress's begin. Very confusing, yes? Zar told you our friend would find us, Godress. You worried too much. Godress is upset because we had to hide behind some rocks. Undignified, he said. Well, Zar says that being eaten by a deformed creature is even more undignified. Quiet, Godress. This one knows what he's doing. This is most fragrant work, my friend. Most fragrant. Zar shall draft the potion immediately. It should make you slightly smaller. Certainly small enough to squeeze through the rubble. Long enough to slip into the laboratory. A few minutes, give or take. Now, let Zar think. Was it 6 or 7 drops of tincture? Zar thinks he saw some dried scarecrow over here. Ah, yes, here it is. Ah, Zar's finest potion yet. You will drink it now, yes?
This grows more taxing by the hour. Here is the potion. I hope Zer didn't cut any corners, but knowing him, it probably tastes terrible. Yes, Zer, I'll be sure to mention it. I am not a mixer of potions, and I don't want to debate the merits of alchemy with Zer again. But the cat knows what he's doing. Inside, look for my notebook. It lists what you need to craft the antipodal rods. Rods that will reverse the soul meld. Just find the components and craft the rods. We will try to recuperate and regain enough strength to teleport ourselves inside. If you have questions, please ask them before you drink the potion. Find the metallurgy workshop. My notebook should be there, placed neatly on a workbench. It contains a list of what you need to create the antipodal rods. Gather the items and craft the rods. Oh, very well. Zer reminds me that time is short, so I will try to be brief. The rods form two opposing forces that should create a negative energy vortex. In theory, the vortex will unlink the strands that bind our souls and set us free. It shouldn't be a problem. The laboratory has a forge. Just follow the directions and apply the proper catalyst. The rods should be able to withstand the reversal process. After you forge the rods, meet me by the Overseer's atelier. The potion will work, you'll see. And know that I am grateful for your help. We both are.
Godress's teleport spell worked. This one is here. Be careful, friend. The dwarven constructs have awakened. The hate standing in the green goo. No amount of licking gets it out of one's fur. Godress worries so much. He wanted to make sure you found the catalyst. The catalyst makes the rod strong enough to withstand both magicka and machinery. Two things this one likes very much. The basic ingredients can be melted, but without a catalyst to imbue them with strength and elemental. Alchemy is not boring, Godress. Ah, very well. Godress wrote about a proper catalyst for the antipodal rods. He wants you to read his notes. After the soul meld, the Overseer ignored us. The dwarven constructs were inactive, so we were able to work here in relative peace. Yes, Godress. Everything was fine until Zer exploded something. The Dark Elf sure knows how to hold a grudge. Many things. The last one was pretty spectacular. It was an accident, of course. Godris was so mad because we were forced outside, but it proved his first suggestion for a catalyst didn't work. So, the experiment was successful.
Teleportation was never this difficult before. The spell took so much out of me I was afraid we would never materialize. But Xur has the key to this room. He acquired it shortly after we'd got here. Were you able to craft the antipodal rods? We are so close. You need to use the rods to activate the dwarven device that performed the soul meld. Oh, and the crystal. I'm getting as careless as Xur. Look for a glowing crystal. The Overseer placed it in the machine to power the device. Well, in a manner of speaking, understand that Xur and I do not have two separate bodies to return to. But if this works, the soul meld won't kill the both of us. The magic will separate the intertwined strands of our souls, but only one of us will survive the process. Do not be dismayed. We rejoice at a chance for one of us to survive. Go on ahead. We will meet you inside momentarily. Stop shouting, Zer. What? Oh yes, of course. No, you're right. Zer reminds me that you have been most helpful, and we need to rest anyway. So I decided not to cut you off with a snide retort. Please accept my apologies and ask your questions. Based on our own experience, it appears that merging two souls into one vessel causes an internal storm as the souls vie for control. It takes all of our mental fortitude to maintain our individual personalities. Then nature takes its course, but at least we will have tried to beat this. At least one of us has a chance to survive, and know that, however this ends, I am grateful for the aid you have provided us. If the device works the way I expect, then the person operating it will decide which of our souls survives the reversal process, and which is discarded. I guess it will be up to you to choose who lives and who dies. Well, I could make a strong case as to why I should be the one to survive. My qualifications, my experience, my worth to the Mages Guild. But the truth is, I have grown fond of Zer. My right to survive is no greater than his. I cannot advise you.
The Overseer's in there. He put us into this dwarven machine. He's dangerous. Do not worry. This one is not afraid. The process can be reversed. Our research tells us this. Zer is optimistic. And if I die, then it is just on to another adventure, yes? We're very different. Zer has learned much sharing a dark elf's mind. Few Khajiit experience such a wonder, yes? Godress will do many great things, provided the unmelding works. And so will Zer. But this one would never choose himself over another. Some theoretical extrapolations are what Godress excels at, and this one's experiments support his research. We believe the device can be forced to unmeld our souls. In any event, we won't survive the soul meld. At the very least, we must try. What's that? Yes, Zer will pass that along. Now, quiet, please. The Overseer's in there. He put us into this dwarven machine. He's dangerous. Many of the constructs that roam this place are under his control. Godress recommends killing him quickly.